And welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Wrestling. As by joined by Tim. Hi, Tim. How you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad, Lee. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. So, obviously, the biggest news coming out of wrestling this week is the death of Hulk Hogan. If people want to know mine and Tim's thoughts on that, then please, we've done a special podcast episode, so head over and watch that. The one thing I do want to mention, though, Tim, we weren't too sure how WWE were going to handle it. They gave him a video package and they gave him a 10-bell salute. Do you think that was the right thing to do?
Yeah, so I've just rewatched it again, and I was surprised at the time that they would give him a 10-bell salute, but looking back at it, I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think his character needed to be honoured. Whatever he did as a bloke, still the character is legendary. The 10-bell salute was the right way to go.
Yeah, me too. I think if you're going to honour somebody as iconic as him, it needs to be done properly.
So that's the Hogan news. We're going to park that to the side because, like we said, we've got a special podcast. So back to WWE action. And what division or where do we want to start with this week, Tim?
Okay, let's start with the SmackDown Tag Team division and what kind of carnage was involved in that. First of all, let's start with a match. Rey Fenix and Andrade did a really good job against the White Six. Both you and I have had our concerns about them, but I don't think the match looked too bad. The ending was typical WWE at the moment, a DQ finish. It protects both teams, and I think it then hurts them as a result because nobody's getting clean wins. We've spoken about this WCW situation before. I think I'm worried we're getting too many DQs at the moment. What happens afterwards, though, is the whole of the tag team division, minus Los Garza, are all involved in an absolutely huge brawl. And it's announced that we're going to get a TLC match, a six-pack TLC match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I love the ending. For a casual fan, that's wrestling at its highest point. And I love the fact, even though Nick announced the TLC match, it didn't stop them. They sort of stopped, looked up, waited for his announcement, and then just carried on brawling. And I just thought, yeah, this is great. A little bit gutted because I'm loving Andrade and Rey Fenix at the moment. And like you said, I'd like to have had a clean win, maybe then pick up the belts, but I get why they didn't for the TLC. And I'm just fingers crossed that that's going to be the team that win at TLC. Even though I do like Faxium as well. So either of those two teams I'm rooting for.
I'll be honest with you, anybody but the White Six picking up the belt, I don't have a problem with. I think all the teams, the White Six are growing on me week by week, but I'm still not sure that they're ready. What does concern me is they announced the card for Saturday and Sunday on SummerSlam, and it already looked packed as it is. I wonder where we're going to shoehorn this one in.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, Sunday's cards are not like a Night of Champions. Every match on Sunday is a championship match. So I don't know if you insert it on Sunday or do you insert it on Saturday, because I think there's only 2 title matches on Saturday.
But it is also worth mentioning that Sundays also seems to be stipulation day, where a lot of the stipulations are taking place. So maybe they're going to go with that. Maybe that's the way in which they look towards it. What I will say is this is a proof that the ladder match that happened on SmackDown after WrestleMania should have been on the card. This is what this is. This is them thinking about what they missed out on WrestleMania.
No, 100%. And another thing I think it highlights is how poor Raw's, he said in the Raw Ramblings, it was what, the New Day, the LWO, and
the Creed Brothers.
And the Creed Brothers. That's literally Raw's division. And I don't know, do you move some teams over to Raw? Do you just involve? I don't know what you do with Raw's division. Because
move probably 2 of the tag teams over and then move one of the guys from Raw onto SmackDown just to change it up a little bit. But I think that's the biggest problem. I think you've now just mentioned it, so let's just talk about the Raw tag team match. A big surprise with the LWO winning, although Joaquin Phoenix and Wild were absolutely phenomenal throughout the match. I thought they were just getting the high spots in so that they'd eat the pin. the fact that they won the match, it was good because it means that we're going to get the Judgment Day against someone new, but it has come a little bit out of the blue.
Said it's just a weird state of affairs with the Raw Tag Team division, and it gives the Judgment Day new people to wrestle with, but is it too little, too late?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we've missed the ball with this one. Either you break up Judgment Day at some point soon, or you let them have a really long title run. But feed them people who should be involved.
In on championships, let's talk about the world title, the heavyweight title. Obviously, Gunther and Punk's promo didn't seem to hit home. It just seemed a bit lackluster.
Yeah, not for me. It was just, there seemed to be something missing. I like the respect that Punk gives Gunther, but it certainly feels like they missed a boat out with this one. So I think the match will be good. It's just the build that's been poor.
Yeah, and maybe it's because of the pivot with Seth. Maybe the injury is legitimate and they've had to pivot. Your face is saying something different, Tim. Do you still think it's a work?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I can't. It depends on the day of the week, or in fact, any minute that is going. There is a big part of me that thinks this is a work. There is another big part of me that thinks this is genuine and this is a great story from the WWE. Because if I can't work out whether I'm being worked or a legitimate injury, fair play. And as I've said before, if Seth is legitimately injured, Punk can't win the belt. It's the wrong time.
And I totally agree with that because obviously, as we've said before, the story building was Seth and Punk stopping each other from being champion. So they can't then completely change it if they're going to bring Seth back within the year. Moving on to the World Heavyweight title, I was very underwhelmed with Cody's promo this week. I felt like it was an R-Truth promo that we had before R-Truth faced John Cena, that wants the best Cena to turn up, wants to know he can beat the real Cena. And I thought we just heard all that from R-Truth.
I think we heard it from Cena pre-WrestleMania. I think we are literally like by the numbers. It doesn't help Cena not being on the show. And this is the problem they're going to have with the build. As good as Cody is with the promo, he needs somebody to bounce off. And this is a problem for me. I know you and I have had this conversation on whether we think Cody's going to turn heel as a result of this. My original thought was no, not at all. No, it's the wrong time. However, his facial expressions throughout tell me they might be really looking into this. And I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like as the weeks go on, he's doing more and more here, these things that it is coming. Unless, again, it's another work and Cody leaves face and we've all had the wool pulled over our eyes. Who knows with WWE at the moment?
Well, this is it, absolutely. And while we're talking about great face turns, I think we need to talk about AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio and how much their little skits throughout Raw were definitely the highlights for me.
It gutted in a way that Dom got cleared this week because that sort of ends those little skits. I think we could have got him cleared on Monday just to have that keep going because it was just hilarious as it kept going. Like 1 minute he's the cleaner, then he's the valet, then even the inside doctor. That really threw me.
I loved that. Absolutely. As soon as he went down injured, I thought, oh, please let AJ be the guy. And it told such a good story. The beatdown came out of nowhere, though. I think that was the one bit. I don't know why Dominic just suddenly hits AJ with the belt and that's it. And it's, yes, I'm cleared. Come on, let's go. I'm like you. Yeah. I think we could have built this for another week and we could have gone somewhere and made it even more funnier next week.
And talking about Dom, I just found out today he turned up in AAA. So he's now inserted into the AAA in the Fatal 4-Way for the title. And obviously AJ turned up at Slammiversary. How much do you think these two having side quests is going to impact on their main story throughout SummerSlam?
So short term, I don't think it makes very much of an impact at all. It is the long term that worries me, because the belt could go to either Dominic or AJ, and we'd have a great Intercontinental title. It is at the moment just sitting there, not where it needs to be, not where it should be here, just sitting here. And a good run with either AJ or Dominic would push that belt up. But if they're going side questing, yeah, I think we're going to take that in the wrong direction.
On to the women again. I think they showcased themselves really well this week on both Raw and SmackDown. What did you think of the women's matches this week?
Okay, so let's go with Raw. The promo from Becky and Lyra was very, very clever. I enjoyed the story that it told. I'm all right with it being a no DQ match, and that Lyra can't go for the belt afterwards.
Lyra can't go for the belt as long as Becky's champion, or Lyra can't go for the belt at all if she loses?
I think it's all the time that Becky holds the belt.
So I actually think then that Becky could still win, because they could have Becky win, this be the stipulation for a month or so, then Becky will lose to someone else, and then Lyra will then be able to go back and go for the belt again.
Yeah, but what do you do with Lyra in that month, 2 months' time? She's red hot at the moment. If we're not careful, people will forget about her, and it's just not going to be as good. So I think Lyra's got to win the belt to stay in the zeitgeist, shall we say.
Yeah. And then she had a match with Bayley. What did you think of that?
So the story around that was really clever. I liked it, and I know a lot of people didn't understand it. I thought it was a completely wasted time. I liked it. I think it's showcasing Bayley. I imagine Bayley's going to turn heel. That's possibly where you go if you want to cost Lyra the belt.
Obviously on SmackDown we had Alexa versus Roxanne with Raquel and Charlotte ringside. I thought this was quite a decent match, and it built up their characters good. Then obviously we had that little scare with Alexa when her nose just popped.
Yeah, so I've had Alexa Bliss's social media checked. She seems to be fine. It doesn't seem like it's too big a deal. But again, I think what happened is, as she's doing Twisted Bliss, as she's landed on Raquel's knee, and that's probably what popped her nose, which is the reason why there's claret. And you can understand, if you're going to if your nose is going to hit someone's knee, something's going to go bang.
Yeah, and I'm just really glad, because I thought I was scared for a second. I thought, oh no, another lady that's just about to get on the cusp, and Charlotte Flair's helping Charlotte Flair out. And then all of a sudden, we're hit by an injury. So I'm glad she's all right. And I definitely think these two are definitely winning the belts at SummerSlam.
I loved Charlotte's participation all the way through this. When she's coming out to the ring and Alexa's trying to get her to shake the pom-poms, and it just looks like they're having a lot of fun. She tries to protect Alexa Bliss. She throws Raquel over the barrier. And at the end, she almost embraces and cuddles her and asks, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" Now, I think they're really doing really good build-up. I am worried. I am really worried that WWE are going to break them up at SummerSlam, and we're going to build this program up.
I think the breakup will come later in the year, and it's going to lead to a WrestleMania program. So I think they're going to break them up at the Rumble or something. Also, sticking with the women, we had Jade versus Chelsea Green. What did you think of this match?
So, you know me, I've been an advocate of the women's wrestling for so long. This, for me, is another swing and a miss. The match itself, the build-up to the match, was perfect. And Chelsea Green did exactly what I was expecting. It was a really positive involvement. Just the beatdown afterwards, I think the build-up between Jade and Tiffany has been poor. I don't know where I want this match to go, because I don't think either character is showing their best stuff at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was quite weird, like with the Tiffy's save and then the little tug of war with the belt and then the stare down. Like, just have Tiffy come out and stare her down at the end or something. Don't. What was the point of the save? This is what I like about Wade Barrett. If he doesn't agree with something, he will call it out. and he was saying, why is Tiffany not letting Jade get beat up? They're about to go into a big match. You want to hurt? I just don't understand where that same come from, and I agree. I don't think the build-up's been great. Hopefully the match will be good, but
Yeah, I do hope the match will be good. I'm really worried about this. I don't know where we go. It's a little bit strange for me. Well, we're going to continue with the women. As again, the women dominated both Raw and SmackDown again. We had Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. What an amazing match. This is, if for any purist, and we're talking like good quality angle matches, early 2000s, this is one of those matches. It looked fantastic from start to finish. It told a great story. It's just the ending, yet again, was lazy.
yeah, I think that's the problem sometimes when it's creative writing. The performers are great. Like Io puts on an amazing show no matter what match he's in. But then you then go in to the creative side of things, and which is the ending, and that sort of lets down the performance sometimes. So it's not always the wrestler's fault because they've just got to follow whatever's been wrote for them.
I just wanted more. And Stephanie's not doing anything at SummerSlam, which I think is a big mistake. So, yeah. We go back to, is Naomi going to drop the belt to either Rhea or Io? I don't think so. So we're obviously building to a Naomi-Stephanie match in Paris. Just give her something to do. Give her a couple of wins.
I think Naomi's going to drop the belt in Australia in October to Rhea again.
Whilst we do that, let's wrap up some of the other little loose ends that we had. We had another Karrion Kross and Sammy match, which Karrion won. I'm very pleased that he finally won a match. But he's done it with using his lead pipe as a story, so I don't know where we're going. And we've got round 3 on SummerSlam. So is this a waste of a position on the card?
Yeah, it's good because, again, they're both great athletes together. They've got good chemistry. But because we've had 2 already, it does seem like this is going to be a wasted spot.
Let's make this a TV feud. Not
exactly.
Every feud needs to go on a PLE. Let's have a TV feud. Let's go with this. We also had Sheamus versus Rusev, which was another really hard-hitting match. You could see the welts coming up on everybody. They're obviously friends to be able to do what they did. Just a little bit concerned that we're going to run this one into the ground as well.
Have to be a fly in the dressing room and then sit down planning the match. And they sit down and just go, right, let's just go beat the hell out of each other. Because, like you said, those shots are just stiff, man. It's great to watch, but again, WWE seems to get something good and then run with it as much as they can, which then does turn it a bit stale. So hopefully they calm this down soon and give them other programs to do soon.
Yeah, another mention is Jacob Fatu's beatdown of MFT, or being beaten down by MFT. I know we're getting a steel cage match, but I don't know how we're working with this. This feels a little bit like we're missing an opportunity here.
I'll be honest, I'm getting bored with it. It seems like the same thing every week. So hopefully something big happens and someone else returns, or there's a clear winner and they move on because this is getting boring now.
Yeah, agreed. And the last 2 points are probably 2 of the biggest points from both Raw and SmackDown. Jenny Roll's Bossman Slam to Logan Paul. Well played, Logan Paul. You bumped really well for that because it doesn't look like it was easy to do.
Yeah, and even his promo, I know I've seen Jenny Roll on a podcast with Stephanie, and he's saying Paul Heyman's been really helping him out. So fair play to him. He said to Triple H he wants to lose the £100 and then could he have a match? He done that. He said he's been living in the performance centre. I don't mind celebrities when they do that because I think it's good, and I think it's good to bring the eyes in, and it shows they're committed, a bit like Logan Paul was all shocked by Logan Paul. I think Jenny Roll's going to put on actually quite a decent showing of himself. I loved him singing Orton's entrance when he was like, I haven't come alone, and then the music kicked in. I think that was a good play from WWE in their production. I'm quite actually looking forward to this match now. I wasn't last week, but I'm intrigued now. I think everyone's playing their part really well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I totally agree. I was unsure about this. I thought this was a waste. But hearing about what he's doing for this fills me with joy. He's giving something in. I don't know who wins that match, if I'm honest. Does Jelly Roll take the pin to protect Randy? Or does Logan take another pinfall? And I mean, he's taken a few lately, so we're going to have to be careful.
Yeah, I think it just depends where they're going with other storylines to how much of a feel-good moment we need from that night. Because obviously giving Jelly Roll and Randy the wins, that feel-good moment. But if there's other things going on, then it may not hurt for Jelly Roll to take the pin. So yeah, again, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think, and the other thing, and it just tells how good Raw and SmackDown have been this week. The big talking point, the main event talking point from Raw being Roman and Braun's promo off. I'm loving Braun Breaker. I know there are a lot of people out there that don't think he can hold his own in a promo. I love him. This is the guy. Give me him in the main event at next year or the year after's WrestleMania, and I'm all over that.
And it's weird because he's changed your mind in a week. Because when I brought this up to you last week, you said not quite yet. And then after this week, he showed that he can hold his own. And it must be intimidating to do that against Roman Reigns. Like, that's a big superstar to have to hold your own, and he did very well. So I totally agree with you.
He almost channeled his uncle Scott Steiner throughout that promo, and that's for me. That's it. We're there. But if you can channel good Scott Steiner, I'm up for that one.
One thing I was a bit disappointed with this week was Undertaker turning up on NXT. Trick Williams sort of called him out on Raw. He turned up on NXT. We knew he was going to be there. And I don't think we should have Undertaker returns because he's been marked. And I know they're there to promote their show and whatever, but I just think it was a bit of a letdown. I don't think it was a good moment at all.
Okay, so look at it from an outside point of view. The numbers for NXT spiked because the Undertaker's on there. It's been slowly dwindling. You bring him out, you've now got a big spike. So it makes sense to me. And obviously Trick's not going to go down as a result of this because he'll take the rub from the Undertaker. I don't have as big a problem as long as it is very sparingly.
Well, Tim, it's time of the week for your top talent. So who are you going for this week?
Purely because he has entertained me on Monday Night Raw for like a couple of weeks, and this week he stole the show, as well as his appearance on TNA's Slammiversary. We're going to give it to AJ Styles. We've got to love the man when he's doing work like this.
Yeah, totally agree. And yeah, can't say different to that. Well, Tim, thank you for your time this week, and I will see you Tuesday for our question.
Thank you, Lee, and I will see you Tuesday for our question.